Let's go.
All right. Perfect.
You
Thank you
go,
for
Scott.
that. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Scott Grody. I am an RVP with Transamerica. It's great to be here with you all this morning. I just want to start out by saying you sound like an awesome group. Alive and awake this morning. I get on a lot of these calls and it's like, good morning, and you don't hear anything. It's just crickets. So it's great to see all your faces and hear some of that feedback right off the bat. But as I'm going through this today, I'm going to be talking about final expense, majority of this presentation today. I think we have a lot of great things to share with you all. I'm really excited about it because I feel like we're finally back in this space. I truly believe we're in a top position now. And I think after this presentation, you'll see why.
Good
If
to
you're
see
not
you.
using us and you want to give it a try and give me some feedback, I would love to hear it. I want to share with you guys my contact information real quick, if that's okay, just so you have that. I know sometimes it's one of those deals where, having somebody on the inside could make all the difference. I know, even with all the improvements that we've made, things sometimes just aren't going to go perfect, and you just need someone on the inside to reach out to, reliable, that's got some skin in the game. So up on the screen, you guys should see my contact information along with my two internal partners. I work with two fantastic internal wholesalers, Chris and Jason. Write down their numbers, take a picture, save it for later. And like I said, if you guys need anything from Transamerica moving forward, I want you to know that I'm here for you and my team is here for you as well. So we'll kick it off with that. Again, I'm going to be talking about final expense today, and I'm going to switch this over to our presentation real quick. I'll throw this caveat out there. This is a very corporate compliance approved presentation. So bear with me. I might sneak through some slides that I feel like kind of waste our time. I want to focus on the stuff that is going to be really important for you today. But right off the bat, why Transamerica is having record final expense sales. I'll probably back up just a second and start it with, we made some changes to our leadership a couple of years ago. Bringing in folks basically from the top down. CEO came over from Lincoln Financial Group, where they have great success, and he kind of cleaned house. And our folks in place right now have that kind of no excuse mentality. Like, we've got a great brand behind us. People know us, they trust us. We've had competitive products for a long time, but we just haven't delivered in a few areas for a while. Service is one. New business processing is another. Our applications have been difficult at times, but I truly believe that we've corrected a lot of this stuff, especially in final expense right now. The focus is on life insurance. I think in the past it was like we're split up between mutual funds and retirement plans and annuities. And now it's all about life insurance. They're throwing resources at it. They're throwing money at it. We're fixing systems, behind the scenes to make things just easier for you and your clients to do business with us. So I'm super excited about it. I've never been more optimistic for the direction that we're heading. When I say, why Transamerica is having record sales, it comes down to four things. Just at the end of last year, we updated four major things for our final expense. Underwriting enhancements. We've probably become one of the most aggressive underwritten final expense products on the market. Definitely the most aggressive we've been as a company for final expense. I'll go over those details in this presentation as to what that is specifically, so you can know when you're sitting with a client, what they're going to get approved for and at what risk class. We've fixed our e-app, and we've added this function to pre-fill a good portion of it, which saves you and your client time. You're just plugging in a couple of key pieces up front, and then boom, it'll populate a bunch of stuff for you. I'm going to show you guys the details on that. A third piece is we've added case management support for you guys. So I'll share their contact information with you. This is huge. Rather than calling that new business general phone number that you've called for years, you'll contact these folks. They're Transamerica employees. And I'll get into those details here in a little bit as well. And then last but not least, kind of the fourth major thing that we've allowed is DocuSign and e-delivery enhancements that we've made. Again, just these key pieces to help make things a little easier for you to get your business through the door and make sure that it sticks. So with that, we'll go through this together again. As I go through this, feel free to stop me and ask me any questions along the way. You know, I know you guys have tons of options out there. When you're choosing a carrier, when you're choosing a product, you're looking at the health of your client, if they can get immediate coverage or if they're going to be pushed to a graded or guaranteed issue product, right? That's a big factor. You need to know, if they have heart disease, where can they go, right? So that's one key factor, the best rate possible. Transamerica's rates for final expense have probably been some of the most competitive out there when you're looking at our preferred risk class, right? Now, in the past, I recognize and I accept it's been probably more difficult to get that preferred risk class. But with our enhancements now, you'll see that that preferred risk class, we're getting a ton of cases approved for those clients who have some of those health conditions that we'll go over here in a little bit. Ease of doing business. This just kind of goes back to, how easy is our electronic application, and then obviously commissions are important for you guys as well. So I truly believe when you're looking at these four categories, when you're choosing a carrier, when you're choosing a product, we're up there at the top. All right, a quick overview of the three products we have available, right? So for final expense, we have one application. One application will underwrite for the immediate solution, the 10-pay solution, and the easy solution. All three products at one time. We're going to underwrite for the best products first, okay? So the immediate and 10-pay have the same underwriting qualities, okay? The easy solution is the graded product. So if the client doesn't qualify health-wise for the immediate and 10-pay, they may still qualify for the graded product, which is the easy solution. So real quick, immediate solution is going to be your day one coverage. It's going to be lifetime pay. So the premium is going to be least expensive for this product. This immediate solution product is probably going to be the one that your client's going to go to 90-95% of the time, okay? Issue ages 0 to age 85. You'll see in a slide later, this is a differentiator for us. We can go down to infants 15 days old and up to age 85 for this product. Minimum face amount 1,000, maximum 50,000. Full death benefits available day one, right? We have loans available. We have, a nursing home rider added into this policy at no extra cost, along with a terminal illness accelerated death benefit rider. We do offer two riders for additional charge. One is the accidental death benefit rider, which just doubles the death benefit if the client passes away due to an accident. And then the other is the child-grandchild rider, which covers up to 9 children or grandchildren. Okay, and that's $5,000 of max coverage on each of those. So that's kind of immediate solution in a nutshell. A 10-pay solution, again, is going to be pretty much the same exact product as the immediate solution. The big difference is it's paid up in 10 years. So the client will make payments for 10 years, whether it be monthly, semi-annual, annual, however they want to do it for 10 years. At the end of that 10-year period, the client doesn't have to make another payment. And whenever they do pass away, that death benefit will pay out. So it's a guaranteed paid up product. And where we see this one placed is usually on a younger client. Maybe they have a height weight issue. Maybe they are on some medications and they don't want to go through, a fully underwritten product. They want a small, maybe a $25,000, $30,000 death benefit. You might see them get their payments made up. They're 30 years old. They're done by age 40. And then they have a guaranteed paid up policy. Same kind of limitations on this, 0 to 85 for the age. Minimum 1,000, maximum 50,000 for coverage. The major difference is we don't allow for the optional riders. So the accidental death benefit and the child-grandchild rider is not available for the 10-pay solution. But the underwriting, as I mentioned earlier, underwriting is going to be the same for these two products, okay? And that's going to all happen in the application, which we'll kind of touch on here in a little bit. But the third product is the easy solution. Easy solution is the graded product, so it's not day one coverage, okay, like the immediate and 10-pay. What it is if the client passes away in the first 2 years of this policy, we will return premiums plus 10% to the beneficiary rather than pay out the death benefit. After they hit that 2-year mark, that 2-year anniversary, say the client passes away in year 7, well, then the death benefit pays out like a normal life insurance policy. So this is a higher risk individual. They didn't qualify for the immediate and 10-pay solution, but we can still get them this easy solution graded product. And this kind of fits right between day one coverage and guaranteed issue. Okay, so the price is going to be higher. It's a little bit more limitations. You can see 18 years old to age 80, right? Rather than 80, 85 and 0 years old. So that's one difference. And then minimum death benefit is 1,000, maximum is 25,000. But I just want to reiterate, it's one application. You're gonna go through the app. It's gonna tell you at the end what the client qualifies for, whether it's immediate and 10-pay or easy solution. So in a nutshell, those are the 3 final expense products we offer. Now this next slide is going to show us just a competitive comparison of us versus some of the other top final expense carriers out there. Right off the bat, you can see I mentioned earlier, issue age 0 to 85. A lot of other carriers are restricted to 45, 50 years old. So if you have one of those younger clients who's looking for a small death benefit policy without having to go through, a fully underwritten product, maybe they have some health concern, you can get them this final expense product down to 15 days old. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Minimums, ours is 1,000. You don't see those written too often, but $1,000 for a minimum death benefit. Maximum, you'll see some changes here. 50,000 for us. Others might be 50,000, 35, 40. So it's something to keep in mind. If you have one of those clients who's looking to max out the coverage on final expense, we might be able to offer more than some of the other carriers out there. Risk class is a differentiator for us. I mentioned earlier, our preferred rates are really competitive. They're tough to beat. You can see, we offer preferred and standard. Other carriers usually just offer, in most cases, just one risk class, just standard, but something to keep in mind there. The graded and modified death benefit option, that's available for us. You can see some of them have the same thing. Some of them have a modified version of that. And then I would say one major piece at the bottom here is Social Security billing. We offer Social Security billing. I'm going to touch on this here in a little bit, but we just enhanced this as well. It used to be a 10-day processing time to get that set up. That's a third of the month. That's just too long, right? We finally got that improved, cut down to just a 3-day process, which is one of the leaders in the industry. And we also offer Direct Express MasterCard for Social Security billing. So those folks that are on fixed income, we can make sure that that money's in the account the day that we're pulling it out. All right, competitive rates. So this just is a snapshot. You can see different scenarios, male age 55. This is, again, running that at our best risk class, preferred risk class, along with the other carriers out there. And as we stacked up, you can see we just kind of edge out most of them in these scenarios. Let's leave that up for a minute. This is a $15,000 face amount. All right, so I mentioned Social Security billing. We offer, EFT, so they can do it through their, bank account, right? It's pretty common. We can do direct billing. If the client wanted to send in a check, we would offer that on a quarterly, semi-annual, or annual basis. So if they wanted to send in a check, we could do that. We offer Social Security billing, and Social Security billing is, again, it's not out there not all carriers offer this. But it does help with persistency, increasing your persistency, keeping stuff on the book. So when you're talking about, you're in a meeting with a client and they say, hey, I'm on fixed income, what can we do? Now Transamerica offers this. What helps, when I say it helps with persistency, now when another agent comes in behind you to try to sell them a policy, they might not offer a carrier that has Social Security billing, right? And so when they try to come in and resell the client, you've got an edge up on the competition here, right? Because we offer Social Security billing, and not everybody does, it keeps those sales solid. All right. You know that the client's going to be paying that premium because it's coming out the same day as they're getting paid, right? So we align it with their payments. And then another differentiator, as I mentioned earlier, is we do accept the Direct Express MasterCard. Not everybody, if they do offer Social Security, does offer that form of payment. So that's a differentiator as well. And then, as I mentioned earlier as well, the 3-day processing. This was a big win for us because even though we offered Social Security in the past, it was as I mentioned, it was a 10-day processing time, which is just far too long when you're selling final expense, right? We now offer it and we can get it set up in 3 days, which is a big improvement. So I'm excited about that as well. All right, so the meat and potatoes here. This is what I'm most thrilled about. The next 2 slides here are our enhanced underwriting guidelines. Okay, so as I mentioned, we've updated underwriting, we've updated our e-app, we've updated case management support team for you guys, and DocuSign. This is the underwriting piece. You can see here all of these options, or all of these ailments, if you will, are now preferred risk class. Okay, aneurysm, bipolar, blood clot, chronic pain, Crohn's, lupus, epilepsy. Like, these are all very common situations that you'll run into when you're out there in the field. We'll get them day one coverage and our preferred pricing, which is, as I mentioned, it's some of the cheapest out there. So I think where we were hindering ourselves before was, yeah, we had great pricing, but we didn't have the underwriting to back it up, right? So we would offer preferred, but it was only those clients who were at that age in incredible condition, it felt like, right? These are very common things that you're going to run into out there in the field, and we're going to still get them that best risk class, that best price. So again, and Bill, I'll share this presentation with you guys, so you can send it out to your team if you'd like, and a couple other pieces. But if just in case, if you guys want to take a picture of this one, it's probably good to just keep in your back pocket. Now, this next slide is a huge piece, and this is probably my favorite slide of the whole thing. Is we added before I dive into this, we added a question onto our application in regards to an activity credit. What the activity credit is a question on the app that says, is your client, are you, as a client, are you active, and if so, for how many days? If the client answers yes, I am active, and for 3 days or more per week, then they can get a bump in their risk class in these scenarios. And what that means is we're taking them from their word. If they walk, if they garden, if they grocery shop, if they're up and moving for 10 consecutive minutes purposely for 3 days or more per week, then we are saying that they're a healthier individual, right? And because of that, we're going to reward them. So this gives you an idea here. So we'll start at the top. Conditions on the left, new rates is in the orange column, and then the old rate and risk class is in the purple column. So anemia, right? Anything other than sickle cell anemia, old rate was graded. The new rate is still graded, but with that activity credit, the client can now get a standard risk class. Okay. So that's important, right? Because that graded product is much more expensive than that day one coverage product. And your client wants day one coverage, right? So we're gonna say with that activity credit, we're gonna now get them day one coverage and a much better price at standard risk class. Asthma was graded, it's now standard, but with the activity credit, preferred risk class. Bronchitis was graded, now standard, with activity credit, preferred. Heart disease was standard, now just flat out preferred. Heart failure was graded, it's now standard. You can kind of see, I would recommend, again, taking a picture of this as well. TIAs, COPD. I mean, this is stuff, again, that is very, very common when you're out there in the field, that you're going to run into these situations, and you're going to need to know, who's going to get them day one coverage, and what's the best risk class. And I would say when you're looking at these, generally, we're probably at the front of the pack in a lot of these situations. The key piece, we used to have a slide on this deck. I guess they pulled it out, but the key piece is that activity credit. So when you're going through the application, make sure that you keep an eye out for that one. It's pretty easy to qualify. There's no way for us to go back and double verify, as we're taking the client's word that they're doing 10 minutes of some sort of activity. Doesn't mean that they have to be in a gym pumping weights, right? They could be walking their dog. They could be grocery shopping. They could be taking their grandchild to the bus stop. If they're doing 10 minutes of activity per day for 3 days or more per week, we will enhance their risk class in these situations.
Scott, I got a question too. Got a couple people text me. So 2 questions: kidney dialysis and also insulin dependent diabetes.
So diabetes, we're not there yet on diabetes, just to be flat out. That's not an area that we enhance, unfortunately. So we're still standard risk class for diabetes. So apologies with that one. I'll just tell you, I know other carriers can beat us with diabetes. And I think our underwriting just isn't there yet for the diabetes thing. But that's all I have on that, unfortunately. What was the other one? Kidney?
Yeah, kidney dialysis.
Kidney dialysis.
Is it acute or is it 3 days a week? Which one?
I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll have to look into that one and get back to you. Write that down.
How about AFib?
AFib.
Does that fall under heart disease?
It does. So yeah, it would fall into heart disease. We're just gonna go preferred.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Amputations.
I'm not certain on amputations.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you guys have specific underwriting specific questions, if you want to just shoot me an email or give me a call after this on any specifics, I'm happy to run that by underwriting for you real quick, and we can find out for you.
Scott, I just got one, Scott.
Yeah.
I just got one, Scott. What about are you offering term to, like, say, people with heart problems, standard
term insurance?
Yes.
Yeah, so term can be a fully underwritten product, right? And I would say yes, we will offer on folks with heart issues. Most likely they're just going to need to go through underwriting. Our underwriters, we're going to need to know the medical findings of what exactly is going on with their heart situation. So heart disease, heart failure isn't necessarily a knockout, but it's going to be more difficult to qualify. We're going to need to see some of those medical records from a heart specialist that they've seen. And, it's just going to take longer to go through underwriting. They're probably going to end up most likely being table rated, would be my guess. But I think it all kind of depends on what the situation is. But no, it's not a knockout to say, hey, if somebody has heart disease, we're just not going to offer them on term.
Okay, so chances are you might be able to do it.
Chances are we might be able to do it. Yeah. Okay, and that's another one, Joe. If if you want to send me that, we could run it by underwriting and just see, based off of the information that whatever it is, they're taking a medication, they were diagnosed X amount of years ago, whatever you have, just let me know, and then we can kind of get a feel for if it's worth sending in an application, even, right? Or we're going to say, hey, they're going to be table F, and table F risk class is just far too expensive, right? So
okay,
yeah, thanks, happy Scott. To check that out for you.
Okay.
Hey, Scott, I just have one question. If you submit, for immediate solution or the 10-pay solution, and for some reason they don't qualify, does it default them to the graded policy, or do you just have to do a new submission for
Good
a
question.
different policy?
Yeah, good question. So no, it'll automatically route them to the easy solution graded product. So you don't have to do anything different. You don't have to switch applications. It's going to automatically transfer it over there and say, hey, apologies, your client didn't qualify for immediate and 10 pay, but they did qualify for easy solution. Do you want to move forward? And then at that point, you can adjust the face amount. Because the price is going to be more expensive. Maybe the client wanted to pay $75 a month, and for the easy solution, you're going to get a much smaller death benefit for $75 a month. It'll allow you to make that change at that time.
And one last thing too, these are all no medical.
Good question. Yes.
These are all no medical.
Yep. So this is all of these products are considered simplified issue. Okay. So the client has to qualify. It's not guaranteed issue, but no medical, no phone interview. So no, you don't have to worry about us following up with the client to do a phone call. You're going to write the app, and it's borderline instant approval. And I say that kind of laughing because I think it was meant to be instant approval, and we just didn't quite hit that mark. But within 10 minutes on average, you're getting you and your client are getting a notice letting them know that they have been approved and at what risk class.
Thank you.
Some of those are getting approved sooner too. If it's a cleaner app, you'll get a more instant approval, I've seen. So it might just take a minute or two, and you and the client will get an email letting you know that they've been approved and if they want to move forward.
What about weight? People who have maybe weight issues.
Yep. So good question. We have a height weight chart, like most carriers do now with Final Expense. It is a pretty lenient weight chart, but I'll send you guys the agent underwriting guide after this call. And then in there, it'll have, all of these updates, but it'll also have the height weight chart for you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, like I said, they're pretty lenient. So you'll see like a preferred weight class and then a standard weight class. And then and it's pretty lenient. There's not too many that I see get declined for height weight anymore. We used to, as I mentioned earlier, we used to have no height weight chart, which was incredible. That was pre-2019. And so we took on a lot of that business where there was no issues with height weight at all. But yeah, 2019, we made that change and added a height weight chart. I would say it's pretty in line with all the other carriers. If you work with anybody else, America or whoever, ours is probably going to be just in line with them. All right, I'll pop over to the next slide here real quick. This is just a quick hypothetical. Michael, he's age 45. He's married in Florida, works as customer service, 5'11", 200 pounds. He has Crohn's disease, high blood pressure, chronic pain, and depression. He's taking medications for all of those. Reckless driving identified over 5 years ago. Why is Michael's rating preferred? So in this scenario, all of his conditions, all the medications he's taking, all his conditions, all his lifestyle factors, his height and weight are all considered to be preferred. So therefore, he's going to get a preferred risk class, it makes sense, right? But, in this scenario, depression, chronic pain, high blood pressure, and Crohn's diseases, that's a number of things going on. And we're still going to offer preferred risk class, which is pretty cool. This next one here, another case study on John. He's 65, 6 foot, 306 pounds. He's taking a high blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication. He walks his granddaughter only once a week for 10 minutes after school. So why is John's rating standard? So all of his medical conditions are preferred, height, weight are standard, and all lifestyle factors are standard or better, which in this case, he has none. So Standard, as you can see in the red though, if John were to walk his granddaughter 3 or more days per week for 10 minutes a day, with that activity credit, we're going to bump him up from standard to preferred. And that's where you can see that price difference go from $84 a month to $70.99. There we go. So this is where,
How can you verify that activity, or are you just going by what people say?
yep, we're going by what people say. There's
Gotcha.
no way for us to verify that somebody is being active. So we're taking their word for it on the app. I just wanted to share that one with you guys because I think it kind of shows like, look, that's a $14 difference in price. That's the difference between you making a sale and moving it to another carrier, or somebody coming in behind you and selling a cheaper product, right? So this is where it becomes really powerful to have the activity credit. Yeah, go
on
ahead.
another Zoom right now, so that's why I'm kind of yeah. So yeah, just sign up on Eventbrite.
Ooh.
Got her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got her. No worries. All right, so I'm going to pop
Very
over to
good.
this
It's
next
very
one
good.
here. Case management benefits. This is one of those areas where I had mentioned, I think we've made a huge improvement. I will admit, because I've dealt with it for the last 7 years, that when we outsourced our service departments for new business, for customer service, for contract and licensing, we did it with a company that promised us the world, and it became a horrible relationship with us. Part of our new leadership's changes is when they came in, they go, what is going on with this third-party vendor? We need to get out of this as quickly as possible. We finally announced later last year that we've gotten out of the contract, and the first step of that is bringing things back in-house so we control our own business. We can provide the service that we want, and we want to provide top-notch service to you guys. We want to be better partners. And so we're going to do that by starting with our case management, starting with new business. So when you're trying to submit business, you're getting a better experience. When I mentioned earlier, you're not calling into a general phone number and getting one of, maybe 700 individuals who maybe know what they're talking about, maybe not. You're going to work with a smaller group. They can do proactive outreach. You're going to get one point of contact. Once you reach out to this case management team, one person will either pick up the phone and answer and see that through, or if you send an email to them and one person from this case management team replies to you, they're going to always be the person to reply to you to see it through. So it's all about like owning the business on our end to support you, right? And not just passing it off to the next person, which is what was happening in new business the last few years. This team, like I said, is a smaller team. They support you guys as well as a couple of our other marketing organizations. But I think you'll be able to build a little bit of a relationship with them, get to know them, they'll get to know you. It depends on how much. Hopefully you don't have to use them too much, but in the case that you do, I think you'll see that you'll have a better response time because their turnaround time's 4 hours. And you'll just be able to have, I think, just a better experience all in all when you submit business with us. So the way it works, you guys can email or call them, right, to the case management team here, and then they will, be able to get you answers on new business, pending cases. It'll work with the underwriter if you have underwriting questions, and then they'll work with, licensing and commissions to work out those issues if they arise as well. So you'll go to one spot who will handle all 3 of those situations for you. And then I'm going to pop over to this screen here. This is the team for you guys. Okay, so you can take a picture of this. Again, I'll share this with you too, but just in case you want it right away, you can see we've got 2 supervisors, Brianna and Ryan. The way it works is up at the top here, you can see an email address. This is the email address for the team. Okay. When you have a pending case and you say, hey, I need, this requirement came out, I need this form, you'll send the request to mocasemanagement@transamerica.com. One of these individuals will reply to you. if you send a follow-up email in that chain, that email chain, that same person, say Allie replied to you the first time, it's gonna get directed to Allie, and she'll reply to you a second time within 4 hours. So, like I said, when you're working with this team, I think you'll see a much better response time. Somebody's going to own the business and not just hope that you don't call back in, because it's going to get routed to them again if they don't handle it the first time. It's going right back to that same person until they get it fixed for you, right? If you want to call in to this team, they're open 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. But what you'll do is you'll call that 800 number here, and then you guys will use this access code. So this is how we keep it, just for your group, and not everybody who is appointed with Transamerica can call in and get a hold of these guys. This is just for you guys and a couple other marketing organizations. So that's how we're going to make sure that the service levels stay high. We have enough staffing. You're going to work with this smaller group rather than a couple hundred like we had previously. Questions? Any questions on that? Cool. Yeah, just to reiterate, as soon as you get a policy number set up, so you send in a case. If you have any questions while that case is pending, you have that policy number, call these guys, send them an email, reference that policy number, ask whatever questions you have, and they'll get you squared away. All right, overview. So this is a quick overview of our new application updates. So what this is just giving you a high level. We partnered with LexisNexis later last year to pre-fill our application. So what you're going to do when you get to the app, you're going to start plugging in some of the some of the insured's information. It's going to generate options for you on the app, and you'll just go through the app and verify. The idea is that it saves you and the client at least 10 minutes of time in filling out the application by automatically filling it in for you. Okay, so it's just taking the information, you put in the client's name and date of birth, I think, and then it's going to automatically pre-fill a Social Security. And you'll see, we'll go through this next couple of slides here. But so in this, this is initial entry. We've got a name, date of birth, and then all of a sudden we've got the address that appears, zip code, and then at the bottom you'll see it says success, let you know that, hey, we're pre-filling this. You'll obviously want to make sure that it's filling things in correctly, so you'll verify that with the client as you're going through. This is where you can see it's going to pre-fill the social, but it's not going to show you the entire social. Okay, so it's just going to show you the last 4, which you want to verify with the client, of course. Oh, and then, email address. You can see there's a drop-down menu. Be aware if the email address that they have here was an old one, try to click the drop-down menu, and you should be able to click, their current email address. Same thing with the phone numbers. People change phone numbers. They might have multiple. Just make sure you're clicking the options if there are any options on there.
Will you be able to type it in?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's all customizable. It's going to pre-fill and auto-populate, but good point. If you need to adjust anything, you can just click in that box and then make it whatever is accurate and up to date. And again, the whole idea here is to save you and the client time. So, if the owner is the same person, you go here and you select, yeah, owner is the same person, boom, it's going to pre-fill all that stuff. So you don't have to go fill it back in again. I think we are now the carrier who has the most pre-fill options on their application to save you the most time. So that's pretty cool.
I have a question. Will this allow you to do an application with someone that's not in front of you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do that, over the phone, Zoom, however you want. You don't have to be face-to-face for this sale.
So it would be emailed to them?
Yep. So you would, be on your computer on a phone call with them or a Zoom call or whatever, and you'd be going and filling things out as they answer the questions.
Mhm.
And then at the end, it's going to ask for signatures. You're going to lock the app, and it's going to send them an email to electronically sign.
Okay. And what if they don't have an email, but so could it go to their daughter or son?
That is a workaround. Yeah, that is a workaround if the daughter or son is available. Otherwise, if there's no email and nobody around for them, then yeah, you'd have to take it in person
Okay.
and print it out. Mhm.
Okay.
The thing that I really like about it actually is the beneficiary and payer information being populated, or the option to do it at least, because I know sometimes you can get you know, 4 or 5 individuals on beneficiaries, and if you can just, you know, it'll give you, like, based off, you know, the client and information we're getting from LexisNexis, it's going to give you a bunch of family members, and you'll be able to just click the drop down and select individuals and just make sure that, you know, their contact information is accurate, which could end up saving you guys a lot of time.
Okay, real quick, while you're on the payer,
Mhm.
are there, I know you stated about the Social Security billing and those type of setups, but in terms of the type of account, like I have a lady right now that she has a Chime bank account, and I know like everybody doesn't use like internet type banking, and so certain insurance carriers that I've tried to get her approved with, they just don't accept her payment method.
Yeah. I
So
don't
is
think
that a factor?
Yeah, I don't think we accept Chime. I'll double check. Who was it? Who was asking that question?
Moon.
Moon? Thanks, Moon. Yeah, I'll double check that. Chime, I think, is one of them that we don't accept. But like I said, I'll verify that real quick for you and get back with you, because yeah, there is a couple of them I've heard of, like kind of like an internet style bank, and I think that's one of them. I think it's one that we don't accept, but I'll verify for you.
It'd probably be easier if you were able to find out which ones you do accept. So if it's not one of those, I'll just let her know. I'm sorry. Because she has like several. I don't know what the situation is, but she has like all these different accounts that nobody accepts. And I'm like, just go to like a real bank. And she's like, I can't. I'm like, okay.
Shoot. And she's not on
That's not
Social Security?
That's a suspect.
Well, I don't judge anybody what their situation is. I mean, she says she uses it to pay all her other bills. So, you know, it gets direct deposit to it. But in terms of using it for this, and, you know, just trying to help her. But if we can't, we just can't. But I'd like to know if there's an alternative for that. And if that is the case, then, you know, maybe she could still be a good candidate.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
She doesn't get Social Security?
No, she's still working.
Oh, she's still working. Okay.
Yeah, I'll verify that for you, Moon. We'll see what options we have. Yeah.
With
If we
this
do a application over the phone, does it need to be recorded?
Nope. Doesn't need to be recorded. Yeah, you can just do it at your leisure, and yeah, whenever you get it submitted to us, we'll process it.
Can the owner and payer be different than the insured?
Can the owner and payer be different than the insured? Yes. Yes, they can. It needs to make sense, right? It's not just you know,
Right,
Bob at the grocery store is the payer and beneficiary of this policy.
Insurable interest, right?
Yeah, insurable interest. But yeah, as long as that's there and it makes sense, like a husband or daughter or something like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There's a QR code on the screen right now. If you guys want to scan that to get some of our marketing material, I'd probably recommend snagging that real quick. And then I've got another one on the next slide for the agent and underwriting guide. I did mention, it's not in this presentation, but I did mention we've we've been sticklers on the DocuSign and e-delivery thing for a while. We now allow for DocuSign. So if any of you use DocuSign because you do paper applications, we'll take it for final expense. So no issues with that anymore. And then our e-delivery process has kind of been enhanced a little bit to make it a smoother process for you guys, where there's not as many clicks on the screen for clients to get confused with. So it's just a kind of a back end thing that you guys will probably just feel now moving forward, but not really notice or remember what the difference was. It was probably just seem like an easier process for your clients now because there's just less clicks. So here's another QR code of that agent underwriting guide and product guide. This has all of those kind of enhancements, underwriting enhancements that I talked about. Yeah, a good one to have on file as well. I will send you I'll send you a link to our mobile quote calculator and a few others that I find really helpful for final expense. That way, too, if you're not appointed with us yet and you just want to run a quote and see if it's worth getting appointed for this first one, I'll send that to you so you can kind of see what the rates look like. And again, if you have any any of those conditions, any of those medical conditions with any clients, potential clients that you're wondering, hey, is this a scenario where Transamerica would be a good fit? If you want to send it to myself, and if you could CC one of my internals, we'll get an answer for you guys pretty quickly. We'll talk to an underwriter for you and find out based off of what you guys know, if they're going to fall under preferred or standard or possibly graded.
What about autism?
Shoot, I don't know, Linda. I'm sorry. Oh, you know what? Autism. It's on the screen right now. Highly functional is preferred. All others declined.
How about slight case of dementia? I have a client that got turned down.
You have a client that was turned down with Transamerica? Or was it with another carrier?
No, it was with another carrier. It was with Mutual of Omaha.
Okay. And it was dementia, you said?
Yes. Slight case, not too severe. And she is active.
Okay, yeah, let's see. So it looks like we're a decline as well for dementia. Are you able to see that?
I think the term dementia is not slight. It's either dementia or not.
It probably, yeah, it's more progressive. So they probably just view it as once you get it, it's probably gonna not get better.
What about Down syndrome?
Down syndrome is a decline as well, it looks like.
Is lupus on there?
Yeah, lupus was on the enhancements I think we made. Let me see if I can pull that one up real quick. Yeah, lupus is preferred on our enhancements.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the underwriting guide's really nice because I mean it has so many things listed here, and you can just see very quickly what it falls under. But the key thing, on those ones that I listed before is just to keep in mind the activity credit, because that's a big difference maker. That's when I say we're the most aggressive underwritten we've ever been. I truly mean that. I think we're a leader in the industry now when it comes to those cases. Like these ones here are just so common, and we're still doing preferred risk class. And then all of these guys, these are the ones that I just really want to enhance that, or emphasize that these are super common, A and B. Most other carriers might not even offer day one coverage for some of these, and certainly not preferred, you know, and that's where I think we're going to win a lot of these cases, and are winning a lot of these cases already. I mean, our sales have just been going up and up for, you know, since November. So I'm excited to see how things continue to go.
Now, Scott, this is Moon one last time. I typically have not been writing Transamerica. I did in the past. They have really always had great rates, but
Right.
and maybe this it definitely wasn't a final expense product. It was probably more of a term or something like that. It stated that it was non-medical, but then
Okay.
still required it. And even though she got approved, you know, she still had to go in and do blood and urine and all this stuff. And I was like, oh man, that's not what this product said. So, I mean, is there a possibility with this final expense, even with the enhancements, that it may be non-medical, but then require them to do something else?
So different, yeah. So good question, and I understand what you're talking about with term, where, you know, can you see my screen right now with the non-med flyer for term?
Yes.
No pain, no gain, no all gain. So this is like a lot of carriers, this is a non-med program for a fully underwritten product. Now, if a client, the caveat is, and something to keep in mind is, if the client has some sort of health condition or issue that our underwriters feel that they need more information on, that's where they have the ability to request a full exam, or just lab sometimes, but usually a full exam, and it kicks them out of the non-med program, right? For final expense, it's more of an all or nothing. So either the client qualifies or the client does not qualify, but there is no blood and urine, there's no exam, there's generally no phone call. There has been a phone call I've seen where an underwriter comes and asks, you know, what was this medication used for? Because the medication that the client had is used for multiple things. And so they just wanted clarification on that. They called the client real quick and said, hey, what do you use this for? Okay, cool. And then went and approved the case. But there's no like structured phone interview or medical underwritten situation for final expense at all.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, on the term, is where it's a little different. I have that up right now to show you guys our term, you know, non-med program. All risk classes are available. Basically, you can go up to $2 million up to age 40, up to age 45. And then from age 46 to 55, you can go up to 1 million with no exam. The caveat is, if there is a serious health issue there that an underwriter feels they need more information on, maybe some medical information, you know, like medical records, the underwriter does have the ability to request those and not approve a case until we get them. Our term rates, I guess, since we're on that, our term rates are really competitive still, especially up to $1 million. We're really competitive, and I think our underwriting is reasonable for term. I don't think there's anywhere where we're probably the most aggressive or least aggressive. We're probably ahead of the middle pack, but certainly not at the very front as far as leniency on underwriting. But we've been a top term competitor for a while. We've, you know, when I said we changed our leadership a couple years ago, the focus has been, you know, how do we win with the products that we have right now? And, you know, we've repriced term a number of times over the last couple of years to stay at the top. And I think with our new service, with, you know, case management support to help you guys get cases through the door, I think, you know, that's going to help our service levels improve. Our applications have, you know, gradually improved. And I think we're at a turning point now where I can say that we are a very competitive, you know, term, final expense, and IUL carrier.
Yeah, I will have marketing materials in the office. So if anyone's local, just to answer that. So I know we're coming up the top of the hour, and I wanted to see if Michael Appleby wanted to say anything, because I will get the list of agents over to Michael and Diane to get contracts over to you guys, and also I'll send you, Scott, the names and emails of everyone that joined the Zoom today. So if you wanted to email them anything or literature or anything, just so they can have it, that's great. And one question I wanted to ask for you, Scott, too, before Michael jumps on.
Yeah.
Do you do back office training or anything like that? Do you do like an hour of just administrative stuff, like if they just wanted to a walkthrough of submitting applications or anything like that? Do you do anything like that?
Yeah, we can do that. We can customize it however you want. So yeah,
Okay.
we myself and my two internals, they've got access to all these things as well. And like I said, they're both fantastic. So if I'm not available because I'm traveling or on another webinar, we can certainly get, you know, one of the other two guys on the team here to help you out.
Sure. So how does that sound, guys, that we try to set something up maybe next week and go through a training, a walkthrough of like the back
Sounds like-
office and application and everything, so you
Sounds
guys
like
can
a
get,
plan.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
'Cause we
quoting and
got
everything.
we got clients we can write right now.
Yeah, I think that's
Right.
a great idea. I know our website is in the process of getting updated right now. So
Mhm.
I think it's a good opportunity for, you know, one of my internals, Chris, has a really good presentation and walkthrough of our website and how, you know, best practices for, you know, how to use us, how to know, you know, where to go on the website for certain things. So I think that'd be a great opportunity to get him on a call and walk us all through that.
All right. Well, I'll email you to find out that
Mhm.
schedule and get that to everybody.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah.
I noticed the cutoff for your term is at 55.
55 for up to $1 million. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
no that's it. That's
No,
the ceiling.
it drops down, it drops down significantly. It's almost embarrassing how low it goes after 55. So 56 and over, it drops down. I think it drops down to 56. I'll get it for you, but it drops down to like 90.
No, I think what I want to know is what the max age is.
What the max age is for non-med on
well, not
term.
really non-med, just for term.
Oh, term. We can go up to age 80 on term.
Okay, good.
Yeah, age 80.
I saw 55 for some reason. 45.
Oh, that's just for the non-med stuff. Yeah. So if the client's cool with the underwritten product, then yeah, we can do up to age 80.
Got you. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey, Mike.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I just want to thank Bill for organizing this webinar, and Scott for taking his time to be so thorough and explaining the final expense portfolio. I will tell you guys that I've been with this company since 1986. I'm a rookie, and I've been through the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I call a spade, if you will. It hasn't been pretty for the last few years, and I've seen a change, and this change has skyrocketed production. Every month, it's not going up; it's going up drastically, and it's because you have a brand that is so well known. Even when times are tough, we had a lot of production with Transamerica. Now that agents are coming back and seeing the improvements, not only in the product, but I'm talking all the improvements, I think you really have a winner. The timing is right. And I think that if you would try Transamerica, you'll be pleasantly surprised. So with that, I just wanted to say, give it a try. What do you got to lose? They're very competitive, not only in final expense, but they're competitive in IUL and the term arena, and they do have living benefits. So am I missing another product, Scott? I don't think I am. A product line, I should say.
Yeah, I think those are the ones to mention. Yeah, you got them.
Yeah. So with that said, give it a try. I think you'll be happy. You'll never be embarrassed by rate, I can tell you that. been dealing with an agent this week, as a matter of fact, who experienced the case that, went from preferred to standard, but the standard was still more competitive than a lot of preferreds out there. So don't always get caught in that box, if you will, of standard versus preferred. Sometimes you just need to look at the rate and the company behind it who's going to pay the claim. So that's all I have to say. Bill put me on the spot. I just got done working out. I dressed up for you guys, but hey, thanks for coming.
No, thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And I just wanted people to see your face.
Thank you.
So we're going to get this this information over to everyone that wants to get, if you guys want to call me, build teams and everything, just give me a call. What the contract terms would be. I mean, if you're entry level, we have 90 up to 130. So contracts can get, pretty high if you have a lot of experience. I mean, right now we have different agencies that they're slicing contract levels right now for not hitting quotas or production right now. So, so we will be able to get, veterans what they're looking for. So you guys can text or call me and we can, talk about those numbers and go through that. Also, last thing, Scott, if people are contracted with Trans, they haven't written any business, how many months is that? Is that 90 days or is it 6 months for non-production?
Are you so they're contract with another IMO?
Mm-hmm.
So we can do dual contracts in most cases. So we should be able to get them set up right away. There are a couple that we run into, like if they were with heard of World Financial Group, if they're with them, then there's a 6-month wait. But generally speaking, we can do a dual contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So guys, everyone on here can pretty much get contracted. So we will get that out. It'll be Assurance Bay link coming from Diane and Michael, and I will get that information over to Scott so you guys could take a look at all the brochures and everything. And also in the office, I don't know if Bernie's there, we're going to do some enhanced training, some, really dialing up, leads that you guys have, Medicare clients or older leads until the FCC starts their whole thing. So you guys can get out there and start producing with this great product because they're back, guys. They're back. I mean, we were writing Trans up years ago like crazy. I mean, so with all these new enhancements and everything, you guys got to get out there and start writing this, and they're in like every state almost. So Jersey, I know you guys are everywhere. So we're not worried about territory right now. You just need to get in, get these products and get out there. We have lead programs. Michael has lead programs. We can go and show you guys some other leads. Of course, we have the Cody Askin leads, final expense leads. So guys, we have the final expense leads. It's just getting you guys to go out there and produce. So if you're going to produce, get the contract, if you're kind of thinking about it, give me a call. But right now, if you're going to write this and you're sitting on clients, this is the best time to call them right now to get these preferred rates before another agent gets over there and offers them Transamerica. So I just want to say that and say thank you so much, Scott. I look forward to doing a training next week. And thank you, Michael, for putting this together too with Scott. And I know I'll be seeing you guys. We'll get these contracts out to you today. So Assurance Bay link will be sent out. And then we can, again, from there, we can work on some type of contract. So let's get you guys at least contracted. Can we at least do that? Get you guys contracted and get that in, and we can work on everything else. So I just want to end with that, guys. I know it's top of the hour. Thank you so much, Scott.
Thank you.
It's been recorded, so you guys will get this recording. So if you send it off to your agents and want them to check it out, and we can get them links as well. All right, guys. Any last words, anyone?
I just want to say thank you for everybody's time today. I certainly appreciate it. If there's anything I can help you out with or my team, please do let me know. And we're happy to partner with you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
So long.
Everyone have a